Oh, now I really remember the segment I wanted. When last time when I was just like "Ugh," and then it was like recording in progress, and I was like, "Oh, she ratted you out."
You like my little cup?
Yeah, I need to get a drink. Hold on.
I was going to tell a story. I guess I'll wait. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Queers. And so, hang on, I want to do that again because queers. All right.
It's hard, right? Welcome to my world.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. And oh my God.
This is like me when we did the Days episodes, and I did it like 5 times.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Aaron, one of your co-hosts, and I'm joined with Tommy. Say hello, Tommy.
Hello.
Hello. And today we are talking about classic episodes of Bold and the Beautiful. I've been streaming them on the Paramount app. That's where I've discovered them and discovered my love for the Bold and the Beautiful now. I used to be against it because the current seasons are some kind of,
Leave a little to be desired.
Yes. I mean, they still look kind of interesting, but the classic episodes, oh my gosh, they are so good. I'm hooked. Caroline, I find myself talking to the TV. Like the other night, I was watching an episode and I was like, Rich, how could you do that to Carolyn? How? I was like, well, I'm stepping back in time, becoming one of my grandparents. So tell me, what do you like about those
Well,
episodes?
first, I want to draw attention to our backgrounds.
Now, who designed those lovely backgrounds?
I don't know. Somebody I know. Just somebody I know that does it.
I mean, I hear he's smart, beautiful, just an all over pretty good guy.
You know, people make shit up.
In my delusion, I'm all those things. I'm like
Aaron did design our beautiful backgrounds.
I'm like Valentina from RuPaul's Drag Race. I live in my own little world where it's just everything is wonderful.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. All right. Back to the Bold and the Beautiful.
So I guess we should kind of like talk about the different families. As of right now, it's just the Logans and the Foresters. Let's start with the Foresters.
There's the Spencers too. Don't forget the Spencers.
And the Spencers, yes. So I guess we'll start with the Spencers then, since you already mentioned Caroline.
My favorite.
She's your favorite?
Yeah, at the moment, she's my favorite.
I like her a lot too, and I didn't think that I would because I'm not usually into the goody-goody, like morally superior characters because I just feel like they preach to everybody. But she's very likable.
Oh, I mean, I'm rooting for her. As soon as he was in that bed with Alex, I was like, you bastard. How could you hurt Carolyn? Is it
I think I had a similar reaction.
Sometimes I want to call her Caroline or like I get it back and forth.
I think you're mixing her up with Caroline Brady.
Yeah. This is my Kirsten.
Yeah. Yeah, she's very likable. Usually I like the characters that are a little mischievous, but they're kind of good at heart.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like villains, like straight up villains, but I like a redeemable character. Nowadays, I feel like everybody's like a redeemable character, so it's kind of played out. Like everybody's kind of dark and everything, and they all have a redemption story.
See, I like it, just a classic old villain, someone who just always causing trouble.
Which would be her father, Bill Spencer.
Well, I don't know what it is about that man, but I don't like him. The first time he spoke, I was just kind of like, "You're going to be a problem."
You're going to be a problem.
I just knew it. I don't know what it was. I was like, "You're the problem. Like you're already. I can tell you're the problem."
He's very condescending and preachy, and it's kind of his way or the highway.
I
And he
think that's
treats her
why.
like a child, even though she's like got to be mid-20s, late 20s.
Mhm.
But their backstory is I think the his wife passed away less than a year ago, so I guess he kind of shifted all his attention to his daughter.
I think she's all he has left, so
Yeah.
he's like afraid of losing her, which I get, but still I don't like him. But for some reason, I feel like she's a better fit with Ridge's brother, Thorn. Is it Thorn? Is that his name?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like him and Caroline, I'll get it eventually, go together really well. I don't know what it is. Like I don't really see her with Ridge.
Yes, they kind of have similar personalities, I think. Um, you, you can tell he's into her. His eyebrow kind of
Uh,
goes up when he sees her.
Lingers like
Um, so to bridge the, or to make the bridge from the Spencers over to the Foresters, what do you think about Margot?
I like her. I don't know what I mean. She's Kate Roberts to me.
Uh-huh.
That's who I know her as. So it's just
Uh-huh.
she.
It's like nice to see a familiar face on a
Yes,
different show.
it is. It really is. And I don't really know. Like I know she had her thing with Ridge, but
Hmm.
other than that, like I still like we're learning about her. Which I guess I've only watched about 25 episodes, which is 5 weeks worth. So
Yes.
it's yeah. I was like, but I'm still waiting to see what I hear. She goes a little crazy.
I'm getting to that point.
And I'm like, I can't wait because Kate does crazy great. Well, her name's Kate, but
Lauren Coslow does crazy good.
so I'm
She does
really excited
unhinged good.
yeah, I'm really excited to see those things happen.
Yeah, it seems like she had like a little fling with Ridge, and maybe he kind of jilted her, and she's like kind of out for revenge.
It is interesting though to watch her on these episodes and know she's kind of in the same kind of storyline.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I mean, she's just bad with love, bad at love.
Mhm.
Or well, not that she's bad at love, but she picks the wrong kind of men.
Have they? I'm trying to remember like what went on in the first 25 episodes. Have they kind of alluded to the fact that she's in love with Eric?
Stephanie has said things, and that's kind of where we're like, that's where we're kind of at. But speaking
Yeah, so maybe that's why she hooked up with Ridge because it was kind of like
mhm.
her way of transferring that love or passion to his son.
While we're talking about the Foresters, I gotta talk about their house for a minute because in their living room they have this like balcony,
Yes, I love that
and
balcony.
I'm just like,
So wait, you walk into the you walk in, you go up the stairs, and if you keep walking on there, the balcony goes into the living room and it looks over the living room.
yes. Well,
It's so cute.
when I first saw, it, I was like, yeah, these are rich people. They got a random balcony in their living room. But
Uh-huh.
now I love it because, like Stephanie the other day was just standing up there, like listening. I was like, that's why they have the balcony. It's perfect for eavesdropping and seeing
And
what's going on.
there's something I had never noticed because I had watched more recent episodes of Bold a few years ago. For a couple of years, I was into it. Um, the dining room, I never really knew where that was in the house. And in these older episodes, I don't know if you see it right away, but they show it. When you first walk into the house, before, like right around where they go up the stairs, if you walk forward, not into the living room, but like towards the camera, I guess, like towards the viewer, that's where the dining room is.
Okay.
Because in episodes, I don't know if it's just most recent episodes or if it happens along the way, they've had breakfast, gotten up, and walked to the front door and left the house. And I'm like, oh, that's where the dining room is.
Look at
Because
us.
I'm like, all right, I know where the living room is, but where is the dining room?
I will say, watching this soap that's set in the 80s, which I guess are kind of like the period when the soaps were just at their peak. I love seeing sets
I
that
was just going to say, look at all the conversation we just had about a set.
yeah, like it's not just one room
Hmm.
where it's like just one room. Like we
Yeah.
have an actual house and a staircase, and Like I
Yeah.
remember Marlena's not to talk about days, but Marlena's
Oh, I love
the
Marlene's penthouse.
stairs. I just loved. Oh,
I mean, technically, she has a penthouse now, but it's not the same. That it's all about the staircase.
like that's not a penthouse. That's like a closet.
Do you see how small that closet is, and all those people that live in that penthouse?
And they just keep revolving.
How many rooms is in that penthouse? Sammy's staying there. I'm pretty sure Bella's staying there. I don't know.
No, Bell, they have their own.
Oh, they're
little,
staying at the Brady's.
or something, but it's like a little room. I can't remember what it was called. Was it called the Den? Or I don't know. It's like a little room. And I'm just like, man, the only one that has a nice house is the Demaras. I love their set right now. That set designer did really
I
cool.
like the Kiriakis mansion too.
Oh yeah. Oh, but back to Bold.
Back to Bold.
Stay on topic. Stay on topic.
Focus.
Uh,
So, what do you think of Ridge apart from like what he did to Caroline?
see, I can't get past it. I now know why
You're bitter.
those people who are like go up to him. Why did you do that to that girl? I mean, I'm like, okay, I guess I get it. Like you're watching it, you're just really rooting for someone, and then he just had to go and sleep with Alex, and I'm just like, because she was so happy. I think it's because right now there's been such depression and stuff in the world. It was nice to see someone like Caroline just so happy and just so pure, and, you know. Oh,
And she was like saving herself for marriage.
I know. And stupid me, I read up about stuff, and I'm just like that. It gets tragic.
I know. I read some stuff too.
I was like, thanks.
Well, just know I'm close to episode 400. She's still around. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that's like 2 years, I guess.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
You're probably like in May of '87 right now, and I think I'm in around September of '88. So
got a long way to go.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I didn't think Bold was gonna grab my attention the way it has. But its storylines have been kind of fast paced for a soap opera. You know, like
and I think it's because it's without commercials. It's like 21 minutes.
Well, I'm just like the story wise, I feel like it moves. Like we got to that wedding really fast. Like if I was watching Passions, half the year would be over, and it would finally be 2 weeks. Yeah. I was like, every time I turned around, I was like, oh, we're like a day from the. I was like, we're a day from the wedding. Man, y'all move a little bit faster in the Bold and Beautiful world.
That's why, not to like get into a Passions discussion, I always felt like Passions was like a parody of a soap opera.
That's a good way to.
I feel like the joke was on us and we didn't know it. Like episodes that used to be like all a daydream, and it was just basically a waste of like an episode.
Those episodes pissed me off.
Whenever anything like big would happen, and
I was like, it's a dream.
Like, so soon, I was like, this isn't real.
Yep,
this is a dream.
Anytime Ethan and Teresa were actually together, I was like, oh, dream episode.
Yeah.
Like you could just.
If it was a storyline that just had started recently, and then all of a sudden it was like this big reveal, I'm like, that's not real.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is why I think I finally got fed up and stopped watching.
Well, I not to take Passions too seriously, and it was very campy, and I love that. So I just enjoyed it for what it was, which was a mess at times, but like a wonderful mess. Like, I would
agree.
Yeah. I'm like, some messes are really good, and Passions is one of those messes.
What do you think of Stephanie?
I love her. And it's
I didn't want to like her, but I do.
Because of COVID, you know, The Bold and the Beautiful have put up a lot of classic episodes and on Paramount Plus. So I've skipped through and watched some of them. She was fighting with Sally, which I know nothing about Sally really, because I just watched one episode from like 93 or when, but like they were fighting. I was like, oh, I've got to get to these episodes. Like it looks magnificent.
There's a lot of things I'm looking forward to seeing, and I hope I get to. I'm looking forward to Hunter Tylo coming on. because I hear that there's a really big rivalry with her and Brooke over
So I heard there
Ridge.
is with Brooke and Stephanie too. So
But
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to that. Um, I'm looking forward to Sally Spectra, like you
Oh,
said,
yes.
and I'm really looking forward to Sheila Carter.
Well, Sally's the girl that plays her daughter on the show, played Babe's mom in All My Children, and I really liked her. So I was really excited to see like her on Bold. If you didn't watch a lot of All My Children, you may not remember Babe.
Bobby Eakes.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, is that who she plays on Bold? I read a few things. I didn't know she was Sally's daughter.
And I saw, I was like, and
Macy?
I don't remember her name on All My Children. So I was like, Babe's mom. I think her name
What's
was.
really sad is I followed the through line that you just gave me, and I was like, oh, Bobby Eakes. You hopped like 3 different shows, and I'm just like,
I told you I'm good at hot.
and I followed.
That's a sign that you get what's going on up here when it comes to me. So, because yeah, it's more twisted than John Black's backstory.
And yet I understood it.
So,
Which says something about me and me understanding John Black's backstory, but okay.
but let's focusing on Bold. I'm
Oh,
trying to keep, one thing I think is really funny is it's set in LA,
yes.
yet everybody is very straight and not diverse or anything like that. I'm like, LA is this huge
That
city.
is a complaint that current fans still have with the show.
Well, I'm just like, it's LA. Like,
Mhm.
I've been there a few times.
I was actually thinking about that today in preparation for this episode that we're filming.
It's like
About the
Salem.
diversity.
The little town of Salem's more diverse than Los Angeles.
Yes. Um, the only people of color that I can remember seeing on this show is a model getting a dress hemmed. I switched hemmed and dress instead of hess.
Makeup works.
A dress hemmed, and that's it. I don't think I've come across any side characters or actual characters of color, which I know they kind of rectify, but they still need to do more as far as diversity.
Which I'm like,
Especially in the fashion industry, where all the gays.
not a single one. I'm like,
Yeah.
Someone made this dress, and I really don't think it was Eric. Like, I'm not trying to stereotype, but gays are good at what we do.
I'm kind of into some of the dresses.
The fashion's not like, even for the 80s, the fashion is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like when I watch it, I don't feel like I'm strictly in the 80s, because it's not just like 80s.
Yeah.
You watch some other shows in the 80s, and
the hair kind of brings you in
well,
there.
yeah. But the hair's kind of coming back in some ways. I see some of those.
I hope not.
I love big hair. The higher the hair, the closer to God.
What do you think about Eric Forrester?
He seems so nice to be like this big, powerful. Maybe it's because he's a designer. I don't know. It seems like in their relationship, Stephanie is kind of like,
she runs the show.
Yes, which I love. I love it. I like Stephanie.
I'm not positive, but going off of things they've said and maybe even things I've read, I think Stephanie comes from money, and it's her money that bankrolled his business.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
I could be wrong, but I think that's what happened.
Okay.
Have you met Kristen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I know she comes from the wedding, but I didn't think she was there that long before the wedding. She was in New York.
Those two hate each other. Oh my God. I'm like, yes. What happened? Like, I'm like, damn.
Yes.
Like, she don't even want to come home for her brother's wedding because it's like, mom's there,
Yeah.
But I guess I can kind of tell that Ridge is more like Stephanie's favorite. You can already tell. and
Mhm.
that Kristen is more Eric's favorite.
Eric. And Stephanie's jealous of that they're so close. It's a weird, almost kind of incestuous kind of jealousy.
Is it? I haven't noticed that. So,
It's weird. I don't know. I just get a weird vibe from it. Um,
oh, I did totally get Teresa vibes from Passions with Brooke when they went to the hospital to see Carolyn.
that is so weird, and I don't understand why Carolyn was just so okay with some stranger who wasn't a nurse being in her room just because she read in the newspaper that she was in the hospital. I'd be like, okay, security.
I was just like, and Brooke's just like, it seems normal. Oh, no, it's okay. Let's do this. It's fine. So, I mean, I get they had to find a way to, I guess, bring the Logans into the Forrester Spencer family. Well,
there's more of a connection there.
oh well, I know Brooke's mom and Eric dated before Stephanie was pregnant with Ridge.
They were dating in college, and then I guess he was also seeing Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stephanie found out she was pregnant, and they ended up getting married.
I do really want to know what Stephanie was at I guess the actual balcony or the window. I can't remember what they had there. And it had like this moment where she's like, should I tell him before he gets married and there's children? I was like, ooh, what's going on here?
Didn't she also get a phone call?
You're asking. At some point, I'm sure
there's a scene early on, and I'm pretty sure it's within the first 25 episodes, where she gets a phone call and she says something along the lines of, "Why are you calling me here?"
Oh, I love a good "Why are you calling me here" type moment.
And I almost feel like they never followed up on that, but I can kind of rationalize it with what's going on with what I'm watching right now, which I'm not going to spoil for you. So when you get to it, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
We're gonna put a bullet point on this, and we'll come back to
it. I do love their theme song, though. The intro is it
evolves and changes, and then they kind of go back to it in a more modern way. I think in recent years, for the 30th, they went back to this version.
Well, they need to stick with this version because I should just.
I like the different shots of all the actors, just like out and about, very candid, and that's fun.
I will. One thing that just I feel poor Katie. Poor Katie.
Okay, I guess we're talking about the Logans now. Yeah. You started with Brooke, and now you're going to Katie.
I made a segue.
I like Katie. She seems like a nice girl.
I just feel so bad. Like I'm looking at her complexion. I'm like, girl, there's nothing wrong. Like, really.
Yeah, but when you're a teenager.
When you're a teenager, I had the same issue. So
especially, not to say that one person has it harder than the other, but when you're a girl, girls are very catty.
Well, and your two sisters are really, beautiful.
Yes, they definitely look out for each other.
Mm-hmm.
This Katie, actually, I think
Katie and Tom. I know Heather Tom doesn't come for a long, long time, but I'm so excited that I know she becomes Katie.
Yes. But this Katie and this
Donna.
I was like, what's the middle one's name? I think they leave after the first 2 or 3 years, and then they just kind of make guest appearances for like 10, 15 years.
I know Tom's recast too at some point.
And then they recasted with Heather Tom. But this Katie, I guess when she was on break from Bold, I did because I went to her IMDb. She was on Days in 1990. She just played like a side character.
Huh.
So I'm like, I'm gonna have to find that and see her on Days. I really like her. She seems sweet.
I just feel so bad for her too because she just loves that Rocco. She's just fallen just in love with.
I like Rocco.
His little rat tail.
I wish he never told me he had a rat tail. Like kills it for me.
Well, he turned sideways, and I was like, John, is that a rat tail? Because I was like, I haven't seen one of those in years.
Is John watching it too?
Well, I make him watch it.
Oh.
But when he was younger, like his grandmother, that was one of the shows that they watched in that. So he
Oh,
has
okay.
more of a connection to like Bold and Young the Restless than he does Days. So he
Okay.
pays a little bit more attention. It's funny. He was watching, Carolyn or Caroline. My God, why can I not get it? It's the wedding. She comes down and she's about to faint, and Ridge's face just does this weird little special effects type thing.
Oh, they did like the shaky camera work to
Yeah.
like show that she was about to pass out.
John just looked at that and went, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Caroline is about to pass out."
Yeah, I think that was supposed to give the illusion that like her vision was getting blurry.
But it was just so funny how he was like, "What?"
I didn't like her wedding dress. It covered too much. It was very chaste.
Maybe it's
because but I guess it was very Caroline.
Yeah.
Um,
and then I just love how they're after after she's in the hospital. Oh, so we're just gonna have the wedding? It's like, give her a moment.
Oh, she's fine now. We can go back and just like.
I'm like,
we'll just have tomorrow.
It's like, dang, maybe she needs to. If she passed out on her wedding day, clearly
she's
something's
dehydrated.
But nope, it's like, oh, we got to get married, and then Ridge. Ugh. I don't think I'll ever be able to like him because what he did to her.
So
maybe my opinion will change as I keep watching, but at this moment, I'm not Team Ridge.
I don't know who my favorite male character is.
I
guess if I had to pick one, Rocco.
There we go, Rocco. I'm gonna go with Rocco too.
But he doesn't stick around long, so I need to find somebody that I can attach myself to.
Stick around long.
I think he leaves after the first 2 or 3 years, also.
Well, that's a pretty long time, Tommy. That's like
it's not that long. That's a drop in the bucket for a show that's been on for 35 years.
That's true. Doesn't he come back at some point?
I think he makes guest appearances, but he's not like a regular after the first couple of years.
I'm kind of sad though. When I watch the newer episodes, I'll tune in occasionally just because I'm curious. I love Quinn. I don't know what it is about her, but I like her.
Oh, I do too. Mm-hmm.
Her, and right now, her and Carter are together, or like.
Oh, are they?
Oh, maybe they're not together, but they're like hiding a secret. They slept together.
The last I was watching, she was married to Eric.
She still is, I think.
Oh, really? But, wow, that's a long time.
They had cheated her and Carter.
Okay.
But I'm just kind of sad that the only original characters on there is Brooke and Eric.
That aren't recast, yeah.
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 Oh, I guess that's true. Ridge is still there, and so is Katie. So they're okay. So maybe
Ridge is there. Katie's there. Donna's there. Yeah, that's it. I think.
Okay. Maybe well, original cast. There's only 2.
Yeah. I didn't want to like Brooke. Just because I feel like everybody likes Brooke, or for the most, well, I can't say everybody. Don't attack me, everybody that's watching this.
She's kind of like the Hope Brady of Bold and the Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's how I felt.
I feel like she's kind of like a goody-goody too, in a way. So I'm waiting. I'm like, where is this bitchy, like the famous line I always hear is "slut from the valley." Like I want to see that Brooke. Like the scheming.
Yeah, I'm ready to see the fighting.
I'm starting to see shades of that, so I'm hoping it's coming soon in the episodes I'm watching. So I don't like this Bill Spencer, but I like the current Bill Spencer.
But isn't that his son or something?
Yes.
Okay. I was about to say.
I assume he finds out he has an illegitimate son at some point.
Well, I mean, he found out Carol.
Say it.
No, Caroline. Oh my God, why can I not get this? Every time I try to say it, I want to say Carolyn. It's Caroline.
Yeah.
It's the state, Carolina. Well, that's Carolina. I'm making
you can start calling her Carolina.
I know, I'm making myself look stupid too. Now I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, Bill. No, her. She finds out she had a twin. Well, she doesn't find out because it's dead, but
I mean,
she has
we
a
can
twin.
we can talk spoilers of things we know because
Yeah.
this is old, this is 30-year-old stuff. So Caroline dies. I don't remember from what, maybe cancer.
Yes, leukemia, I think. But that's
Okay.
after she gets raped.
Oh, you know about that?
I read up about my when I wasn't sure if they were going to get married. I was kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I would have done in the 80s having to watch this and not be able to just look it up because I was like,
That's why I love watching it because it's 20 minutes. It's like candy. You could watch like a week's worth in under an hour and a half.
so I was reading up and I was like, and then I was like, can this girl catch a break? like her whole
Is
life.
John sitting next to you while you're having these like out loud reactions?
Yes. He's like, what? I'm like, Carolyn gets raped and then she dies. And then I'm like, and then that means she leaves. Like that, I love the actress for some reason. I don't know, but then I was like, oh, it's
Which is
okay.
why I think I like the character because I think the actress endears me to her.
Well, and then I'm like, oh, it's okay. She comes back as her twin sister that she didn't know they had,
Mm-hmm.
and she's a lesbian
Yeah, ends up being a lesbian.
who is with my favorite Crystal Carly Manning.
Yes, and their daughter is they named Caroline.
Is
Lindsay Godfrey,
yes,
who we were talking about before the show, before we started. So that's why I was like, Lindsay Godfrey. We love Lindsay.
We do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will look at moments and then I will research because I'm like, okay, I can't wait to find out. But
I have that bad habit also, but I so try to not be
it still
spoiled.
makes me excited though to watch it because I'm like, but I miss the days when you couldn't be spoiled. Like I think I would have been.
Like, I actually don't know anything that Sheila Carter does at all. So, and I don't want to read on it. I want to like be genuinely shocked when I get to that point.
She crazy, I know that.
I know she crazy because that's why everybody loves her.
And I know she hops soaps too.
Well, because she was originally a YNR character.
Oh, was she? Okay, I
And
thought
she
it
came
was
to LA. I think she was hiding out.
okay. I
And
thought it was the
she,
opposite.
from what I have read, I think she came and had like an alias that she was under.
Okay.
But I
Well,
also
that makes
have
it
read that Lauren Fenmore from YNR, who is her nemesis, is also a regular at some point.
Ooh.
So I'm excited about that.
I do like that sometimes they'd have characters like swap. I like it. It just makes the universe just
Yeah. And actually, Sally, the newer Sally, is on YNR as a regular playing Sally.
the one that's on
The
Bold.
Sally that came on like 4 years ago, the young one. She's
Oh,
like her granddaughter or grandniece or something.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I love a redhead. I feel like they really spice up the show.
You know what? I do too. If I think
always-
about it, I do too.
I have two best friends, and they are both redheads. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, I am just drawn to redheads. Like, you got red hair, we best friends. I don't know why.
We're best friends. Oh, you have red hair? You're my new best friend. So, what was the last thing you watched?
I watched episode 25 because that's as far as it goes on Paramount Plus, which I'm very sad. I'm like, just put them all up there. Put them all up there. And I can't remember how it ended. I know it's really close to she hasn't left the hospital yet.
Okay.
So I know Rich has went to talk to Bill.
Okay.
So
Does Ridge know that Bill showed her the pictures?
yes. Because maybe she did come home because she was fighting with her dad about the fact that he had someone following Ridge.
Oh.
So I don't know.
So she's mad at her father for exposing something that Ridge did, which I was kind of on Bill's side with that because I was like he was protecting his daughter, but I don't like Bill, so
I was the same way. I was like, I should be mad because you are not like. I mean, I get why she's upset. I'd be mad too if someone hired a private investigator to, research my boo. But they actually found something, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like, should you be mad? I mean, you would have found out after you had married him that he had one little fling. That thankfully, that one little fling is what made me decide I really love you. I'm like, you
Yeah.
ain't playing that game. If you have to decide by a fling that you really love me, go on.
No, you getting caught with the fling is
Yeah.
what made you realize that you really loved
There for a
her.
minute, I thought, oh, maybe they didn't sleep together because they just made it like, oh, when they had come downstairs, they're like, do you want to go back? And he's like, no,
Yeah.
it's over. I was like, maybe they didn't sleep together. Okay. It's still not good, but I can be okay with him just being naked in a bed with her, but not doing anything. But now he broke her heart. I'm still mad about it. I mean, look, I'm holding on to it. 1987.
Still mad as hell. Were you even born yet?
I wasn't. Episodes I'm watching, I wasn't even born yet. So it's I'm like,
This is like May of '87, right?
I had a few more weeks. I was almost there.
Well, didn't your mom watch YNR? You said she was pregnant with you.
No, I'm sure she did. I know Days was like the show we didn't miss. Like we would skip YNR. We didn't skip Days.
Okay.
If someone went, oh, y'all want to meet up at 12:30 for lunch or 12 for lunch? Will we be done at home before 12:30? No, let's wait till after. That's how we were. What, you scheduled your life around Days? I'm sure if I was in college during that time, I would have been going, I can't have class at this time. If they said, Days of Our Lives comes on, so find me a different class.
We've talked about this. We had TiVos and VCRs.
But not savages. I'm saying if I was born in alive in the 80s during that time, in the 80s, I would have scheduled my life around my shows.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people did. I'm sure of it.
But granted, Tommy, I wasn't privileged. I didn't have TiVo. We had VCR, and I sometimes forgot.
Sorry.
I remember racing home in 2003 to see the series finale of Buffy.
There was no plans for me that night. I knew it was ending. I was staying home. Don't call me. Don't talk to me.
Well, I didn't plan to go anywhere, but my cousins like, come, please go with me so I don't have to go alone. I was like, if I'm not back by 7, it was like 7.
Same with Dawson's Creek when that show ended. Me and my best girlfriend at the time, we were calling each other during commercial breaks, crying.
Me, my mom, and my 2 cousins were watching it, like, what the shit? And it's funny, they didn't really care for Jen, but that episode, works. Her talking to that camera. Wait, we're supposed to be talking about Bold.
Yeah, it's what we do.
It's who we are.
It's called Queers and Soaps. We're still on brand. So.
That's true.
Queer, and we're talking about soaps.
We're here. We're queer. We like daytime drama. I can't actually think of anything else. I feel like we've said pretty much everything.
Well, we haven't. What do you think about Storm?
Oh, don't like them.
You don't like Storm?
Nope.
Why?
I don't know. There's this. Okay, this is probably superficial. I don't like his hair.
Oh, I hate his hair.
I think that's what it is. I just can't get past it.
I think he's nice, though. I like him.
Well, he's not bad, I guess. I don't like his boyfriend, Dave.
Oh, I don't. I'm sure he's nice, but I don't really care for him either.
I'm like, girl.
He's just boring.
Yes.
Now I know this happened in the first 25 episodes. So you know the place that Donna hangs out at, that Rocco works at?
Hollywood, whatever.
Griffey's.
Oh, I was totally wrong. I know what you're talking about, though. The restaurant where...
Yeah, it's like a diner.
I thought it was called Hollywood. It's like Hollywood themed, I guess.
Yes. Okay. But it's called Griffey's.
Sorry, I pay attention to the like background. I watch extras. I look at scenes. I examine the whole thing when I'm watching something.
So it was only one, maybe two episodes. She's hanging out at Griffey's with one of her girlfriends, and it's Sarah Buxton. Do you know who that is?
I do not.
She played the redhead Annie on Sunset Beach.
Oh, that girl.
You know
Yes.
who I'm talking about. You saw
Reggie,
her.
of course, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, she's, but it's funny because I think she comes on Bold later, like in the early 2000s for a year or two, like after Sunset Beach ended.
Sunset Beach.
We're gonna have to talk about that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like seeing younger versions of actors from other soaps. It's always fun.
Before they like went and made some
I'm
other
that annoying person that when I'm watching something, I'm like, oh, they were on a soap.
same. I do the same.
Even if it's like the smallest character, I'm like, oh, they were on a soap.
Well, that's like Nathan from Days played grown up Johnny in a flashback. Or like when a daydream.
You've said that. I've never seen that.
Find it.
No, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just like, I did. I still miss Nathan. Sorry. I had a big crush on him.
I was gonna say, I guess you had a crush on him.
Yes, him and then I was totally Melanie and Nathan all the way.
Don't do it.
Don't you give me that look. Don't you give me that look. They were a good couple.
Okay. Back to Bold. Are you crushing on any of the guys on Bold right now? On classic Bold?
Thorne.
That's right. You sent me a screenshot of a picture and you're like, who is this? He's cute.
I was like, he's cute. How long he's on for? And then you said he was the brother. I was like, oh, I bet he leaves soon because I know, like, the one I know is Thorne is the second guy that played him.
Third.
Oh, wow.
Are you thinking of Windsor?
Sure.
Okay. I think the most
the
recognizable in the role he doesn't come on until like 95, 96.
Okay.
Yeah, there's another guy in between.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I was okay with it with just I haven't seen the other one, I guess. So not that
I haven't either, so
like, but
that's part I haven't seen the middle guy either, so you're still good. You got a little while with this one.
I don't know, there's just something about his hair. He's nice and he seems like a good guy that you would take home to mom. Sorry, that's a Scream quote. If you had a mom, Mickey.
Yes. I got you.
Sorry. Can't help it.
What do you think about? I can't think of her name. The mom, Mrs. Logan.
I don't think much about her. I mean, like they haven't given her. She cooks. She's always in the kitchen. I'm like, give her something else to do. In her fake job, she's always cooking, and then you bring her home, she's cooking. That's not fair.
The catering business.
Like, don't make her character always cooking.
I like the character. I really like this actress. And then they recast her after like around episode 50.
Ooh, I don't have long.
And it took me a minute to warm up to the next one, but I actually really like her.
Recasts sometimes typically take me just a little bit, just to warm up to them. Trying to think of one that Chad Demera was one that recast. Took me a while to
that I didn't have as hard a time with. It's easier for me to get used to a recast if they haven't been on the show for a while. If it's like
Eric
next day and it's somebody completely different, which they don't really do too often. They usually like write them off and bring them back.
Unless you're Bell number 2.
Bell.
Remember
Daddy Raymer?
Yeah, like new Bell next week, different Bell.
Yeah. But that was also like 16 years ago, so they don't really do that anymore.
It's still in Soap World that could be 2 days.
That is true.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I didn't really have a hard time with Chad.
I don't know if I've ever had trouble with a recast. I will say, even though I don't really watch it, Young and the Restless, when they recasted Victoria, it took me a moment for it to be like Victoria, Heather Tom, when she wasn't Victoria. I was like, but she's Victoria. Yeah, but now
Yeah.
I got adjusted to it just fine.
I think some fans still are having a hard time, like 15 years later.
But I can't think of it.
And now she's been in the role longer than Heather Tom has at this point.
So it's technically, to me, it's hers.
Yeah.
Kind of like Brady in days. I mean, he's Brady.
Yeah.
You can bring the other one back as Rex, but it doesn't work. That's a recast I didn't care for. Maybe because he wasn't Rex. I crushed on Rex hardcore.
I'm not a fan of bringing an actor back to play a different role on the show that they played another role on. I'm not a fan of that. And GH does that a lot.
Yeah.
Michael Easton has played like 5 characters in the last 10 years on that show.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And I hear they did it with the one that was Todd on One Life to Live, and he's
I think they did that though because they he was the character he played was a rapist, and they were trying
they're trying to keep the actor and
trying to keep the actor without trying to redeem someone of because I mean really,
I think sometimes you just gotta let it go because you're not doing the show any favors. But yeah, so I'm excited to watch some more Bold. Well, Classic Bold. I mean, I'm very far ahead of you, but I hope you keep watching.
Oh no, I am totally going to keep watching. I'm a Bold fan now. It's a long way from that backdoor pilot.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that?
I mean, for me too. Even though I had watched it for a few years in recent years, I'm not really into it. I mean, I've said to you, I feel like it's like rinse and repeat. It's just kind of like same shit, different die. But this is actually really entertaining, and I could see why people like it or like.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I used to think I don't know why they would keep Bold but get rid of As the World Turns, and now I'm just like, all right,
fine.
Just because it's rather, like you said, it's entertaining. It's what soaps. It's reminding me of those glory days.
Yeah.
Which
in a condensed version.
Yeah. Some people still they get mad about days just kind of being all out there and crazy. And I'm just like, that's the point.
That's Days though. That's in Days' wheelhouse.
For a reality type show where everything's realistic.
Yeah.
That's why while I may not be a fan of The Mask all the time, I'm not against them because they're fun.
I mean, Ron didn't start it on Days. They've been doing Masks since the 80s.
So I mean,
it's all in Days' wheelhouse.
I can't imagine watching a soap that wasn't just out there, because I feel like that's part. I think it's fun to try to figure out. They try to figure out a way to get this person off from doing this, or how are we gonna think of what to explain this?
Mm-hmm.
I love what they come up with sometimes. It's not always good. It's not always great, but. And sometimes the letdown can be New Salem was kind of one of those things where we're like, wait, they're all alive? Huh.
Yeah, I kind of stopped watching around that time.
I mean, I still loved it. And I loved that there was a whole little Salem out there, another Salem. But.
So how do you think Brooke is going to worm her way into Forrester?
Well, I read up on her and.
Oh, you already know?
Yeah. So
I'm trying to be like, what are your predictions?
What are you like? Well, I read it because I couldn't wait. I can't help.
Where do you read about it on Wikipedia?
Yeah, or I go to I just type in I just look for characters, and I always describe it as how people will get in YouTube rabbit holes where they just one video leads to another. I do that with soap operas on Wikipedia or on Google. I just read stuff. I'll click on a character. And then next thing you know, I'm I know the whole family, but never watched the show.
Yeah, I like reading like the family tree, like who they're related to, and then I see who they were married to and how long, and I was like, oh, good, I like them together, so I got at least 2 years of them. So
Well, and I sometimes have to do that with days because even though I've watched it forever, sometimes they throw you for a loop, and I'm like, wait, Brady and Teresa can't date. They're, like, I'm like, let me go look at this family tree. Okay, I guess they can. But that's
But
the
all
fun
right, so
stuff.
this is fun. I can't wait to accumulate a few more episodes under your belt, and we could talk some more about this.
I know. There's other soap swing, like, I don't know. I follow a lot of soap pages on Twitter, and it's making me want to go back and watch, like, um, what's her name? Anne. Hey, she dated Ellen.
Oh, and Hutch,
Yes, yeah, or
Hutch.
whatever. She's on another world. I
Mhm.
kind of very like. I'd kind of like to know what was going on there, just because I like. I mean, I think I like her.
Yeah, people actually really loved her on Another World
That's what I
because she
thought.
played twins,
And I love when characters play twins. It's so fun.
and one was bad, and one wasn't. Well,
Oh, of
not bad, but
course.
more
There are,
like Sammy.
are there ever two good twins?
Yeah,
No,
well,
that's not how it works.
I think that's a soap trope. I think one of them has to be a little
Has to
mischievous.
be. And then if one dies, the twins there in case it's like, oh man, we killed off that character and fans love them. Twin. But we didn't know that twin. We'll figure it out. Stefano took them.
Well, that was Dave's go-to. Everything, all roads led back to Stefano.
Just like Daniel Jonas.
Even if you saw it happen with somebody else, no, it was Stefano.
Maybe he's why Daniel Jonas was there.
Don't. This is why I tried to cut off the Melanie talk earlier. It wasn't because of the Melanie and Nathan. I didn't want to hear that last name, and I sure as hell did not want to hear that first name. Now look at you, got me going.
I think at this point I did it on purpose.
Stop. Shut your whore mouth.
I can't help it. You get all worked up and it's funny.
Because I don't like him.
Oh, good. Good times. Good times.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Check us out on all the socials and stay tuned for another episode next week. Bye.
Bye.